WCCO TV4 presents exclusive live coverage of the TCF Holidazzle Parade. Brought to you by TCF, Minnesota's most convenient bank.
Good evening, everyone. You have got the best seat on the street right outside of our WCCO television studios in the heart of downtown Minneapolis. And we're all decked out and ready for the 12th annual Holidazzle Parade. I'm Don Shelby. And
I'm Randy Kay. Once again, WCCO TV is proud to televise the opening night of this traditional holiday event. This is just the first of 21 Holidazzle Parades between now and December 28th.
And thousands of people have already lined up, anxiously awaiting for the start. So let's check in with Paul Douglas and Amelia Santinello, who are out in the crowd.
Yes, we are.
We're moving around just
It's a little chilly today.
I'm sorry about that.
What happened to the forecast?
You
did say 20s.
It's late November. It's Minnesota. 22 with a wind chill of 10. It feels like 26, 27.
I know. You know what? And hardy Minnesotans, we're all out here enjoying this. We've got a great crowd.
I know it's on your list. You have a little issue?
A little issue.
You want to tell viewers at home?
They don't have to know. No, I'm gonna talk to Santa Claus.
New pants for Christmas for Amelia.
I have a little rip in my pants. Thank goodness for the long coat. But listen, I'm gonna have an exclusive interview with Santa.
Get out.
Yes, and I have Don's list right here.
Oh, look at that. It goes on forever.
It goes on and on forever. So we'll talk to Santa about that. I don't know if we're gonna have enough time to talk to Santa about that.
Now, have you noticed what a good-looking crowd we have?
Best looking crowd ever.
Right. All right, time to get holidazzled. Don and Randy, back to you.
Thank you, Paul. It is a great-looking crowd out there, as always.
And you know what I like best about it is there's so many children. This is one of the greatest events in the country, and it's been recognized all over the country for being one of the best parades, not only for a city to build business, but in order to get people to come down and bring their children. And everyone on our anchor team is excited to be part of tonight's broadcast. The Holidazzle Parade is such a wonderful community event for the entire family. Well, let's get started with this parade, the 12th year for the Holidazzle TCF.
And as always, the opening night parade is presented by Marshall Fields. Many of the costumed fairy tale characters that you're going to see in tonight's parade are volunteers from Marshall Fields.
Mark Rosen is out in the crowd for this TCF Holidazzle Parade, and he's got a very special interview. Mark?
That's right, Don and Randy. We have Al Newman with us, the popular Twins third base coach of the Grand Marshal tonight. And Al, after surviving a life-threatening brain hemorrhage last summer, I can't imagine anyone happier to be here tonight than you.
Oh, I'm so thankful and grateful and honored to be the Grand Marshal tonight to kick off the holiday season. It's nothing better.
A lot of fans out here tonight, and you heard from thousands of them all summer. You found out how many friends you have in this town.
I tell you what, I know I'm loved by a lot of people. I've got at least 10 boxes of mail, and right now I'll take this opportunity to say thank you and God bless you.
You're feeling great? You ready to come back to spring training next February?
Ready to kick off a great season. I'm ready to go, raring to go.
Al, it's always great to see you and get your family here, which has to make it even more special for you tonight.
You got that right, Mark, and thanks for having me. And all Minnesota people, hello. Merry Christmas.
Al looks like $1 million. He's ready to go. Send us home. All right, Al Newman. Don and Randy, back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Mark, and congratulations to our friend Al Newman.
Good to see him out here. And coming up next, it is the circus train presented by American Express and Cup Foods. This float is the longest in the parade. It's 82 feet. It features 5 train cars filled with all kinds of colorful circus animals. And this unit offers kids a chance to be in the parade, actually. They're all dressed up as giraffes and elephants and tigers and sea lions and snow monkeys. And the kids get to ride inside the cars, while several adult clowns and other circus characters, including the Holidazzle stilt walkers, walk alongside to help keep the crowds entertained. And they're good at that.
You know, before every parade, a special electrician and a dresser help each of the costume volunteers get suited up. And the Hyatt Regency Hotel is the official hotel for the TCF Holidazzle, and it is host to all of the costumes and the dressers.
And what a job that must be to help these folks get ready for this parade.
It would be one thing if it was just one cast for the entire run of the 21 parades, but each night the cast changes because different corporations, different community groups, different neighborhoods can apply years in advance for one night at the Holidazzle to put on all of those lights and be a part of it.
And they do a wonderful job, which may explain why about 500,000 people come down here to see this parade every year over the nights that they are putting it on.
All right, let's go out in the middle of the crowd. Paul Douglas with his hoarse voice, and his mother told him to put on his hat, and he did.
That's right. I am dressed for success tonight. And if you're dressed right, the Holidazzle's not a problem. I'm here with Mark Foster. He's a CP at TCF Banks. Did I just give you a raise, a promotion?
No, but you could go a little higher if you wanted to.
The new CEO. Hey, tell me about the hot seats. What do you have to do to get a hot seat? It's a good value, right?
It is a great value. The hot seats are environmentally protected, as you can see. They're blowing hot air through here every night of the parade. The way to get the seats is you simply spend $150 downtown Minneapolis. Okay. Save your receipts, come to TCF Bank on the Skyway level inside the IDS building, and we'll give you 2 free hot seats for any night of the parade that you choose.
Or you can take your chances and wait till the last minute, 6:25, and for $5 a seat, right, you can get in?
That's exactly right. But best to get your tickets in advance because this fills up very fast.
Do some shopping, get a hot seat, you won't regret it. Donna, Randy?
All right, thank you very much. The next group is ready and waiting to follow the yellow brick road. The lovable Wizard of Oz characters are presented by Minneapolis St. Paul Magazine. And there's the familiar foursome. You hear the boo down there for some of the evil characters. Dorothy, the Lion, Scarecrow, the Tin Man. Plus, somewhere on her bike is the Wicked Witch of the West.
The Wizard of Oz float follows right behind the characters. It showcases the colorful land of Oz with the munchkins and a special video projection system that features, you got it, the wizard himself. The Wizard of Oz unit is always a crowd favorite. Lots of the kids out here, Don, earlier tonight were asking, are we going to see the Wizard of Oz? Is the wizard going to be here? And of course the answer is always yes.
That's right. And if I were in this parade, I would pay good money to be the Wicked Witch of the West. We'd also like to thank Britt's Pub for allowing us to go on top of their building, just to the right of the Wicked Witch. You could almost be driving into Britt's Pub right there, for allowing us to station one of our cameras high up, and this is the shot you see right here. So you're going to get a great long view of what is happening there on the parade route. We've got so many cameras and so many angles, you're going to get everything in view of the people who are actually here. Coming up next is the Mother Goose Float, presented by Malto Meal. Some of the characters riding on top include Jack and Jill, Little Bo Peep, Little Miss Muffet. This float has spectacular lighting, some great costumes, and a calypso song with a kind of south of the border beat. Check out all of the kids on this float too, with the lighted spoons, ready to try some of that yummy Malto meal.
And several familiar Mother Goose characters always walk alongside the float. We have eventually here, we'll be seeing the 3 men in the tub. There's the 3 little kittens, I believe.
There they are.
Yeah.
They have to carry, you know, I don't think that tub would hold much water.
No, I don't think so. It'd be pretty heavy too if it did. But these costumes, along with all the others in the parade, were created by Holidazzle's costume designer Tiffany Clem and her very talented staff. I mean, just look at them. One is more amazing than the next.
I think they're a little chilly. I don't see a lot of rub-dub-dubbing.
Not a night for the tub outside, I don't think. Unless it's a hot tub, maybe. And I don't think that's a hot tub. Something tells me.
Next up, we wanted to tell you a little bit about the Princess Float, the Princess and the Pea Float, which is usually presented by Select Comfort. And we'll be in that in just a moment. In the meantime, we wanted to give you a view from the front side with one of our 7 camera angles here on the Holidazzle. This is what people would see of the Mother Goose Float if they were to somehow stand in the middle of Nicollet Mall and look in sort of a southwesterly direction. Now, no one, of course, is allowed to do that, except the police are here on duty, making this a wonderfully safe environment for kids and for families to come down. Of course, this entire Holidazzle Parade was the brainchild of the Downtown Council, who was trying to figure out a way to keep people in the downtown area during the holiday season So you'll see different things, not just this parade, but also breaks on parking and also some returns if you come in and get these receipts. A lot of the businesses will pay for your parking downtown during the holiday season.
Well, it's certainly working because the streets are lined, the crowds are here. And most of the crowds usually tend to be we're on 7th and 8th and Nicollet, I guess. They tend to crowd there. But lots of folks in the skyways tonight, too, trying to keep warm a little bit there.
I don't want to say anything about their intelligence, but I would presume that some of the smarter people in town are in the skyways.
Yes, or watching our broadcast even from home.
I was telling you a moment ago about the Princess and the Pea float, which is presented by Select Comfort. This fairy tale float is decked out with thousands of sparkling lights. It features the princess on top of a stack of mattresses. And under there somewhere, if you remember the story, there is a little pea that keeps her up all night long. I don't know what her sleep number is.
It's a good-looking bed.
All of the music on each of these floats is original, written especially for the parade. This tune is a special blues number sung by local artist Debbie Duncan.
I think the princess was waving at you, Don. Yeah, wave back. There you go.
That's the first princess that ever waved to me.
Oh, look at the shot of our flame there. See that heart right there? Isn't that a nice
Isn't
shot?
that? It's got a complete mantle built around the weather window, and they've really done some remarkable things. Debbie Duncan is a wonderful singer. In fact, she was on the radio show today with us, and she, along with T. Michael Rambo, have a special program coming up
And there.
at Fitzgerald Theater this weekend.
And there coming up is the giant-sized Christmas bear, Peep, presented by Waldman House Press. This multicolored bear is the subject of local author Tom Haig's children's holiday book series. And Tom's most recent book, Peep, and his new best friend made its debut on the bookshelves just a couple of years ago. It's a great book. Really great book. And I think we have Dennis Doda out there, too, in the crowd with us somewhere.
Randy, I'm right here.
All
You know,
right.
The parade is free for folks to come downtown, but if they want to feel like they're making a little donation for a good cause when they come to enjoy it, they sure can. This is Lisa Dindorf with the Emergency Food Shelf Network. You folks every year do a wonderful job. Last year, how much food did you collect during the campaign?
Last year, the TCF Holidazzle collected almost 5,000 pounds of food and about $30,000 cash donations, and so it does so much good. We really appreciate everyone bringing food down.
How many different food shelves are you serving out there?
You know, there are 50 different food shelf networks associated with the Emergency Food Shelf Network, and then last year we garnered enough food that there were 5,000 families fed for 5 days.
That's very impressive. And why is it that money goes so much further? If people don't want to pack items down here, bring in a check, how do they contribute in that way to such a great extent?
You know, before the parade begins, they can. There will be volunteers collecting food and cash, and then when the American Express and the Cub Food Circus train comes by, they of course can collect then.
Awesome. Lisa, thanks for doing a good job again this year. Randy and Don, back to you.
All right, thank you very much.
Every night during the TCF Holidazzle Parade, WCCO TV is proud to present a different marching band from around the metro area. And tonight, it is the Minnesota Freedom Band. There are 50 members in this band. 30 of them are performing here with us tonight. The drum major for the band is Brian Flackard, and the conductor is Beth Smith. Let's listen just a little bit.
The Minnesota Freedom Band's holiday concert is December 13th at the Fitzgerald Theater in St. Paul. It's called Around the World in 80 Minutes. Now we're going to see a bunch of fairy tale characters. Everyone loves to see these. It's the gang from Alice in Wonderland. Besides Alice, who you'll see there, is the Mad Hatter.
There he is.
Hatter back there. Some of the card dudes. Can't remember what they're called.
Are they called card dudes,
Card dudes, I think,
technically?
yeah. The White Rabbit, they're all the part of the Queen of Hearts evil empire.
There they go.
What is that? That's the Four of Hearts.
Yep.
Right in the middle.
And here's a TCF Holidazzle fun fact for you. We like to share a few of these during the broadcast. This season, 4,000 volunteers will be participating by dressing up as one of the 250 costume characters in the parade. Most volunteers are from local companies that sponsor each night of the parade. And these companies feel it's a great way to help support this community spirit out here.
This next float is the Ready, Sit, Read float presented by Target. It's debuted in the parade last year. Float hopes to encourage a love of reading at an early age. It features a big red chair with just stacks and stacks of books. Every night, a different Minneapolis school teacher gets a chance to sit in that chair along with some students. Tonight's teacher is Lisa Hartman. Target's Ready, Sit, Read program has donated $1 billion worth of books to schools all across the nation.
Love that. The books stacked up there. It's really great. And to tie in with the reading theme, here comes some of our favorite storybook characters making their way down the mall here. They help present, I guess, the idea of reading. This group does include, there you go, Little Red Riding Hood, and the wolf, and the three little pigs, plus Goldilocks and the three bears. And there's also, of course, some classic favorites in the group like Robin Hood, and Sherlock Holmes, and Tom Sawyer, and Huck Finn.
All right, here's a test for you.
Okay, go.
All right. Which of the three pigs lived in the straw house?
Oh, boy. You got me.
Yeah, I don't know either.
You know?
No, I have no idea. I don't think they had names. It was like the second pig.
Yeah, pig number one or pig number two, maybe?
There was a brick house and a stick house and a straw house, I think. This is one of the favorites of the, you can just hear the crowd out there, of the Holidazzle. It's the Nutcracker, and it's presented by M&I Bank. One of the characters, motorized doodle bug in shape of a Nutcracker toy soldier. Spins in a circle so everyone can see it from all angles. The Nutcracker has been a part of this parade since it began 12 years ago. This guy's done a lot of spinning in 100 parades a year. 280 parades already. In fact, here's another TCF Holidazzle fun fact. The 300th Holidazzle Parade will be held on Sunday, December 21st. Paul Douglas standing by. As you saw it, he's trying to warm up with a little hot chocolate. I don't know if it's working.
I got the cider going.
Oh, cider, okay.
And it really helps, Don and Randy, absolutely. Our thanks to the folks at the Dakota. They're providing free cider, free hot cocoa if you drop on down. Now, we've turned our weather window here on the Nicollet Mall into a simulated fireplace in honor of the holidays, complete with crackling audio. I don't know if we can get a wide shot. You can see the stockings, the wreath up above. Very, very cool. Come on down and check it out as you check out Holidazzle. We're going to be doing this every night, Wednesday through Sunday. We'll see you right down here, Don and Randy.
All right, Paul, thank you very much. Paul doesn't look warm enough yet to me.
He doesn't. He needs a lot more cider, I think.
Who's this? Looks like Hansel and Gretel.
It sure is. The next float is Hansel and Gretel, presented by the Star Tribune. It showcases the mean old witch, there she is, and her candy house. And the witch gets to ride on the float while poor Hansel and Gretel have to walk, dropping their breadcrumbs along the way. We always hope one year maybe she'll let them ride with her. A catchy country theme song accompanies this float, along with a scent machine that creates the wonderful smell of baking gingerbread cookies. If you sniff real hard, Don, they say that you can actually smell the gingerbread aroma as the float passes by.
Here's a little tip I learned from reading that story as a young if you're invited into a very nice-looking house in the woods by an ugly-looking old lady, don't get in the oven. I think this is the lesson you're supposed to learn.
That's a pretty good tip. Hansel and Gretel could have used that one,
Well,
maybe.
isn't that the story?
Yes.
Because you're going to turn into a cookie. At
You
some
got
point
it.
in your life.
Oh, here
all right,
come
this
the
is my
favorites.
favorite. Yeah, this is my favorite. This is new this year, these inflatable guys. They used to be on a big string, and they were little small people. But I like these.
The lights on parade.
Aren't they beautiful?
They sure
You
are.
can admire them. There are actually people inside of these light bulbs. I don't know how they make that happen. They've been a popular part of this parade for a long time, but they're bigger now and better, they say, than ever before. Huge inflatables. They bring an innovative new look to the holiday event. Each bulb stands 8 feet tall, 4 feet wide.
Oh, you can see the people inside. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll smile at you as they go by. There are little holes in the front so they can twinkle their way down Nickel Fall with the lights fixed.
Hope they don't topple over. You can feel the wind kicking up out here. Hope they're weighted down.
Have you ever broken one of those, when you're trying to decorate the tree, you break one of those things, they shatter down in a jillion pieces. It has to be like a broken Christmas tree light bulb magnet to pick them up. Because they'll never sweep up. You'll find them sometime in March sticking to the bottom of your foot.
Never good.
That's right.
Next up, take a look. It's Captain Hook, presented by Block E in downtown Minneapolis. And on this float, Peter Pan tries to rescue poor Wendy from the clutches of the mean old Captain Hook. This brightly lit float was designed to look like a huge pirate ship. They did a pretty good job with that one, too. It's one of the biggest floats in the parade. It measures 30 feet long. Lots of lights on that one.
You know what I like about this? Following behind usually, and I don't know if it's true this year, there ought to be some sort of crocodile with a clock ticking inside of its belly.
Well,
You remember the story of Peter Pan? It's that nasty crocodile.
There's a bunch of fish alongside that one, too.
All right, so no crocodile this year. But let me say, is that Smee in there?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Smee and the crocodile are in there someplace. They've got to be.
If you notice one thing about this parade, just to keep it... Oh, there's your crocodile duck.
Oh, see, I knew he was
There
there.
he goes. You'll notice one thing about this, to keep the parade going on time, they have what they call pacers, which actually, they're volunteers, and they keep the parade going and moving just for folks.
But they do it with all good cheer.
Yes, of course they do. No, they're very nice volunteers, and this year I know there are some volunteers from the Geek Squad helping out, too, so thank you to them.
The sounds of the season choir float presented by WCCO Radio. Each night a different choir from the community is featured during the parade. This evening, the Minnesota Chorale singing. The conductor tonight is Timothy Sook, who is the assistant artistic director of the Minnesota Chorale. It has 250 members, 30 singing on the float tonight. During the holidays, the Minnesota Chorale will have several performances live with the Minnesota Orchestra. Let's listen. That music sets the stage in sort of a religious or spiritual way for what has become the way a lot of people have learned to celebrate this season in a more secular way. Remember Santa Bear?
Yeah.
Santa Bear's family keeps getting bigger and bigger. Santa Bear came out. It was Dayton's back then, but then became Marshall Fields, and Santa Bear came out and became the hit. Children bought a lot of Santa Bears. Their parents bought them for them. Then Santa Bear got married to Mrs. Santa Bear, right?
You've been following this soap opera, haven't you?
I follow this soap opera. And that's Santa Bear and Mrs. Santa Bear. And they're a very happy couple. But I'm wondering at what point another little bear may come along.
I bet pretty soon. Well, right now, let's check in with Dennis Joda, who is in the crowd with people anxiously awaiting the arrival of Santa on the last float.
Randy, I want to clue everybody into the Maxwell family tradition. They come over here from Burnsville every year, try to pick the coldest night.
We do.
And just to show you how warm the feeling is, they even bring their Packers relatives over for the Holidazzle.
There's 13 of us.
13 this year. Let's go down to Ella right here. Ella, who are you waiting for?
Yeah.
What are you going to ask Santa for this year when you see him?
My Little Pony.
My Little Pony. All right. Santa, maybe we could save you a letter and some postage this year. Back to you, Don and Randy.
All right, thank you very much. We have a Santa's Workshop float that is presented by Metro Transit this year for the TCF Holidazzle. Metro Transit offering free bus rides to and from the parade on Saturday, December 13th. So be sure to check that out. Spectacular Santa Workshop float features elves making toys to give children on Christmas. The float, along with almost all of the others in the parade, were designed by local artist Jack Bank and constructed by another local company called Foot Candles. That's headed up by Michael Murnane.
Now, earlier we saw, Don, your list. You want to share a few of the things that were on your list for the holiday while we have some time?
Well, there's one reason that the children put up with all the cold weather, not only to see the lovely lights of the TCF Holidazzle Parade and all the lovely costumes and finery. They're waiting for the very end of this because, as all great holiday parades do, it ends with the man himself, the grandest float of them all, Santa Claus and his reindeer, presented by Marshall Fields. The float's guided by none other than Rudolph and his 8 lighted reindeer, which pull jolly old St. Nick in a magnificent sleigh. No matter what, Santa Claus always seems to have time in his busy schedule to make this very, very special appearance at the TCF Holidazzle Parade.
Just look at that. That is beautiful. And on board with Santa is our very own Amelia Santinello. Amelia, how's the big guy doing this year?
What are you doing this year? We're thrilled that you came to visit us again. 21 years.
Thank you, Amelia. Isn't this wonderful to be here at the TCF Holidazzle Parade?
Now, you know, Don had a very long list. I know you're checking out the children and making sure everybody's been naughty or nice, right?
Don's list was so large, we had to leave it back in the sleigh. I don't know, Don.
How about Paul Douglas?
Paul Douglas? He interviewed me a few years back, and Paul, you're on that same list.
So Randy's been good.
Well, Randy's been good.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
All right, so you're going to check out all the kids and make sure they're doing naughty or nice, right? Make sure.
This is the funnest time. Look at all the kids here from Minneapolis and St. Paul.
A very happy Santa indeed. There you go, guys.
I love that guy.
I do
just
too.
love Santa Claus.
Don't do this to friends and loved ones. Next time, give the American Express gift check. Instead of one place, they're good all over the place. Available at all TCF bank locations.
Imagine millions of stars twinkling down Nicollet Mall. Put yourself in the center of the holiday universe this season. Celebrate and be dazzled by the spirited music, magical costumes, and enchanting fairy tale floats of the TCF Holidazzle Parade. It's a celestial story of a fantasy that brings warmth and wonderment to downtown Minneapolis during the heart of the holidays. Experience the TCF Holidazzle Parade, Wednesdays through Sundays until December 28th. Brought to you by thousands of volunteers and the generous support of TCF Bank, Marshall Fields, Maltonil, Metro Transit, the Star Tribune, XL Energy, Target, WCCO Radio, WCCO TV, Select Comfort, and Minneapolis St. Paul Magazine. The TCF Holidazzle Parade is a one-of-a-kind event. Don't miss the magic. Bring your family and prepare to be dazzled. Go to tcfholidazzle.com for dates and free parking information.
Welcome back, everyone. That's going to wrap up our live coverage of the 12th annual TCF Holidazzle Parade. You think this year was different from last year? There were a few new additions.
A few new additions. I like the inflatable light bulbs. Those were kind of nice.
Yes.
8 feet tall, but you know, it just gets better every year.
Yes, I don't think it needs to change that much because once we develop a tradition, I think that the kids tell their little siblings, wait till you see this or wait till you see that. And so I'm glad that a lot of what we see maintains tradition of the very first Holidazzle we broadcast 12 years ago.
And what a wonderful tradition it is. And don't forget, you have 20 more chances to see the parade between now and December 28th. First chance is December 6th, right here on WCCO.
And if you plan on coming down, be sure to get here early, do some shopping or dining, and don't forget to visit us at our WCCO TV weather window.
And you can't miss our building, beautifully decorated for the holidays. Look at that.
Thank you very much for joining us, everyone. Happy holidays.
Good night.
Good night.
WCCO TV4's live coverage of the TCF Holidazzle Parade has been brought to you by TCF, Minnesota's most convenient bank.